Hi, it's Paris from Epic Reviews, and it's almost time to start shopping for the most important holiday of the year, Father's Day. Well, yeah, not everyone agrees with me on that, but I am a father, and so I know something about getting Father's Day gifts, and of course giving Father's Day gifts. So the usual thing is the aftershave or the ties and the same old, same old. So if you'd like to do something different and better this year, I think I found a really good one for you. Now, all memorable gifts have a few elements in common. One is, it needs to be something the person doesn't have. Another thing is, it should be something with something unique with kind of a coolness factor that when the people open it up and look at it, you can see on their face like, hey, that's really cool. And then the third thing is, it needs to be something that they'll actually use. It can be something cool like a purple panda toy that can actually climb the walls of your room, but you know, how often is your father going to use that? So it needs to be something useful for that person. So my recommendation for Father's Day 2013, something you can get for your dad that meets all those criteria, is the Bionic Wrench. It's by a company called Loggerhead Tools. You can find it online. I'll put a link down below. That's where I got mine. But you can also find it at some hardware stores. And I just saw it. What triggered this thought of it being a great Father's Day gift is they've got a big promotion at Walgreens, our local drugstore. They've got a big thing with the video playing about it and all the different wrenches there. So, and it's in the right price range, the $20 to $25 range. Now, what this is, in terms of being a bionic wrench, and bionic means that it amplifies or adds something to what humans can do. This basically takes the power of your squeezing hand, and with this section right here in the middle, you slide it over a nut or a bolt, especially one that's stuck, and it will evenly apply the force of your squeezing hand onto it like that. So you squeeze down and it catches to just the right size, puts the weight all the way around it, and when you've got it there, you can turn it. You can remove those stuck nuts and stuck bolts. Now, if this doesn't sound interesting to you, not something that would be cool or useful to you, don't worry, it's something that appeals to fathers, because fathers end up with the jobs of, hey, this bolt is stuck where I'm trying to, can you get that off? And so normally they resort to these tools, because this is what everyone has lying around. Your mid-range tool interested father, is going to have one of these wrenches and maybe a pair of pliers. And what these usually succeed in doing is making the situation even worse. They strip off the outside edge because they don't evenly distribute the force. So really what you need is something that can evenly grab onto that stuck thing so you can twist it and get it off. It's not something that you'll need every day, but it's something that when you need to get that stuck nut or bolt off, you'll be so glad that you have it. And it fits fine with the father whose tool collection consists of one screwdriver in the kitchen drawer, or if your father is somebody who has one of those big $300 toolboxes that you open it up and an accordion's out and they've got everything sorted by the socket size and all of this. Either father, this will work just great for them because it meets a very specific need, and it's something that everybody runs into occasionally, are those nuts or bolts that they just can't remove. Okay, I've got the bionic wrench here. I'm going to try it out on this guy right here on the axle of the bicycle. Let me zoom in a little. Here we go. I've loosened it up. Let me zoom in a little more and put it back tight. Alright, I'm upside down underneath my dining room table here, which is held together with these bolts. So I'm going to see if this will work to take one of these off. Usually I have to get my socket wrench. Screwdriver isn't quite powerful enough, even though they've got the spot for that, but you need something around the outside edge. So let me zoom in a little here so you can see exactly what's going on. I squeeze the handle. These guys all move in. Hold it tight, and there we go. Now it's all the way in. Let's see, I think, yeah, it's that way. Yeah, there we go. Alright. Alright, tighten it back up. Doesn't fall apart when we put dinner on it. You never know, there might be some pound cakes involved. They could be kind of heavy. Alright, nice and tight. There we go. So that's a couple of the things that the bionic wrench can do. Obviously it's not going to work on something like on a hose where you've got to get something around the outside of it because you can't slide over it. Also, if something is recessed down in and you can't get this in at it, or if it's a very tight space, you do need this much room to work with it. So in those cases this isn't going to work, and it's not an everything kind of tool, but it has its place, and it certainly is handy when you've got a stripped nut that you're ruined with one of these trying to get it off, and you're just thinking, what am I going to do now? This may come to save the day. So in those situations this is good. Also, if it is something very accessible, rather than going to get your socket set and figuring out which socket is going to fit it and so forth, if you can just grab this out of the drawer and go over and take the thing, this is pretty handy for that too. So I give it a thumbs up. Now if you can't find it locally in your Walgreens home improvement store, again I'll put a link down below, you can get it online. And you won't need this every day, but the day will come that you'll really wish you had one of these, and you just might if somebody gets you one for Father's Day.